Hey folks, we've been out all day. It's about lunchtime now. We left early this morning and we went to what's called the land transport office here. I'm going to try to make this as short as I can. And in short, just tell you what my experience was today. I went to renew my driver's license, and there's some hubbub about not being able to renew for 5 years. The driver's licenses come in a couple flavors: 2 years, 5 years. Generally, your first one's 2 years. The subsequent ones are 5. And I'm on a 5-year right now. I last renewed in 2020, September of 2020. So fast forward 5 years, it's almost been a full 5 years. But anyway, turns out I don't have to renew until next year. That's a whole nother part of it. There'll be some video beyond this where we talk about that. But I just want to tell you what my experience was real quick if you don't want to watch the whole video. When I went in, I have a 1-year non-immigrant visa with, like many people here, where you renew your visa every year, you do your 90-day report, etc. I don't have any kind of special visa or anything. And they said, yeah, you'll renew for 5 years. They looked at my stuff. They said, you'll get a 5-year driver's license. This is at the Rayong Land Transport Office, which is one of the ones that supposedly has some sort of internal policy proclaiming that you need something more than a year. I don't know what that's all about. I can only tell you what my experience was. And I went there today, and there's some other expats renewing theirs today, and they don't know what this is all about either. They anticipated getting the same 5-year deal. So there is a change for if you have a 2-year license and you come with a visa that's less than a year. So you have a stamp from the airport for 30 days or the DTV, which is 6 months. They mention that by name, by the way. That's only even though it might be a 5-year visa, it renews every 6 months. If it's less than a year, you're 1 year, then yeah, they will only renew you for 2 years. Okay, but if you have a 1-year visa, they will renew you for the 5 years, regardless of what month it falls on. I think the renewal is generally on your birthday. And that's why I don't have to renew till next year. I actually got my license in 2020. I don't have to renew until 2026. Big surprise. So any news at the DMV, or I'm sorry, any news at the Land Transport Office for me today was positive, because I don't have to renew right now. I have a whole nother year to wait. And this whole thing on social media about the 5 years and not being able to get a 5-year license because you're not a resident or whatever that is, that might be the case at your land transport office. It is not the case here in Rayong, but that's what was relayed to me, that this was one of two. The office in Banglamun and the office here in Rayong had that as a policy. We called Banglamun and they couldn't confirm that. So when we went to driving school and a lot of different things we did today, we've been running around all day, and that'll be in the rest of the video. If you don't want to watch all that, and if you're like me and you're just wondering, is this all true? Am I going to go back to a 2-year license even though I got a 5-year now? That was not my experience. So I can't tell you the way things are where you live or as a universal type thing, but if you just had a couple minutes to watch this video, that's my experience. It's a 5-year renewal. All right, we'll go back to this morning when we were at the Land Transport Office and the other places we went, and you can kind of I'll go through a little bit more detail with this if you have time to watch. We came into the office here today. We're at what's called the Rayong Land Transport Office to inquire. I already know what you need to renew a license or to get a license. It's pretty simple. It's your existing license, it's your passport, it's a letter of residency from the immigration. That will have your address. That will certify your latest address. Of course, your address goes on your driver's license. And also a medical examination certificate, a medical paper. You pay 100 baht, a couple hundred baht, whatever it is for that. They give you a once-over, not a very thorough medical check, but you have a paper saying you're medically competent to operate a motor vehicle. Basically, I think is what it says, the gist of it. And you take all that in, and then they renew your license. You may have to get a class. We were told today there's an hour-long class or video. It could be something like that. But here's what we were told today. In short, is there is a change. And if you're the kind of person that comes here for, maybe you come here on a 2-month stamp in at the airport, or 60 days or whatever, maybe you come for a holiday and you get a Thai license, they're going to give it to you for 2 years. If you go to renew that now, they'll give it to you again for 2 years. If you have a long stay visa, she asked, do you have a 1-year visa? I said, yes, I do. you get it for 5 years. So the whole essence of it was a visa greater than 1 year. Well, there's very few, if any, visas greater than a year. There's different, even some of the ones like elites and all, they say whether 5 years or 10 years. It's really 1 year at a time, the way I understand that. But anyway, it has nothing to do so much with that. She basically said no tourist visa. So if you're here on a 30-day stamp or a 60-day stamp, they will not do it. Now this is only this branch, but apparently that's their internal policy here. So maybe you came here, I don't know, 2 years ago, and you got a license for the first time, and you paid an agent, you got the license, and maybe you're coming back this year, and you're saying, oh, I can renew that license, or I'll need to renew that license. It'll probably still be a 2-year renewal. But if you're like me and you've been here and you have the 1-year visa, they give you the 5-year renewal. I mean, how could I go from a 5-year license to a 2-year? That doesn't make sense. So a few more bricks in the load. On my way out of the Rayong Land Transport Office, I talked to a couple expats that were there in like a waiting area. They're actually renewing theirs today, which I don't have to. I'm still good. It was a surprise to me. They got it in 2020. It's good till 2026. Anyway, you go figure. Anyway, they were renewing, and none of them had any said they were given any type of issues or anything. They all were expecting a 5-year license. So your mileage may vary. We've come here now to advanced driving school in Rayong, and they have one in Pattaya as well. And I took Lan to the one in Pattaya to actually get her license, but now it's been close to 2 years. I think in about 5 months or so that expires, and she will have to renew for she'll get a 5-year as well. So she's in there doing the documents, but these people looked at all my stuff to confirm. They said, yeah, maybe come back in about 6 months. And they said they looked at the visa, the passport, the licenses, everything. They said, no problem, you will renew for 5 years. And that's even at the office here that allegedly has the policy. So, I don't know. It looks like a big nothing burger to me. I don't think there's any problem. Unless, like I said, if you're a tourist here and you're coming for a month at a time and you only have a stamp that they give you at the airport, they will probably just give you a 2-year license. But I don't see that really being a big problem for people. I don't know. If you're living here, if you're a non-immigrant visa, year to year, it doesn't seem like there is any issue. But here again, your mileage may vary depending on your local land transport office. She just came out. I mean, the girl behind the counter did all her app for all the online type stuff, used her phone. Lon didn't have to do anything. Then she just came out and said, well, what time and date do you want? We picked, I think, the 14th of next month at 9 a.m. And for 400 baht, they do all that. I think that's worth 400 baht. They do the app thing for you. They do all the paperwork. Yeah, that's pretty fair. You would still be responsible for the medical certificate, of course, your passport, your letter from immigration, your certification of your address or your residency certificate, as it's called, and of course, bringing your old license. So you have a small list of things you have to do, and you bring all that here, and they basically sort the rest for you for about 400 baht. Not too bad. There you go. Once again, I can only speak to my experience, but that's what it was. We stopped at Toyota on the way back since we were out. It was still kind of early in the day before lunchtime. Lon thought there was some kind of new model they had that would be cool to look at, but they didn't have it. Apparently, it's only in Bangkok. That's not it. But anyway, I hope that helps somebody. I don't know if it helps or not, but it's just, like I said, my experience, and I thought I'd add that to the stack of whatever else is out there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. Something else next time, but for this one, got to go ahead and leave it off right here. And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.